I'm Alison and I'm now 69 years old. I have ABPA, which is allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis. It's an allergic reaction in my lungs to the Aspergillus fungus. The way I describe it to people who don't understand what it is, it's a chronic fungal lung condition. I finally got a diagnosis for it in 2019. When I first got the diagnosis from North Shore, it's like, well, what is this? I went looking and found the Aspergillus.org website, read about it, listened to the videos from Prof. Denning. I thought, this is, the realization that it was chronic. It's changed my life. I thought I'd be active and, well into my 80s. I'm only 69 and some days I feel like a really old woman. And the changes with going on prednisone, I've changed clothing size and I like to look good. And one of the things is, initially I was just so down about that, and I had to it's like, it was, again, as a Christian, I was like, I was kind of proud of how I looked. Okay, you're a different size now. Getting going in the morning is really, really hard. You feel the medication can leave your mouth feeling dry, and you just sort of this horrible cotton wool phlegm. And the pain, you haven't had pain medication overnight, so you need to wait for everything to start to kick in before you can really function. Some days it's 2 hours before you can really function when you get up in the morning. There's restrictions on what you can do. There are the energy levels, the fatigue. I don't have the stamina that I used to have. I was very, very active. The fatigue, the not being able to do the things that I used to be able to do, I have pushed myself to keep walking. I'm very much a use it or lose it. But in the last, the last 6 months, I have struggled even to keep up my walking. It went from an average of 10,000 steps a day to it's an average of 5,000 steps a day. And that means that some days I barely walk at all because I just don't have the energy. I have developed peripheral neuropathy, which I had a little bit of it before the full diagnosis, so it makes it complicated. I wasn't sure whether we're not sure whether it's the itraconazole, but I've been in hospital just before Christmas. Some days I just don't have the energy to do anything, and other days I'm quite good. So I have to be more spontaneous, and I always have been a bit spontaneous, but to know, can I invite somebody over? Can I, do I have the energy to go and see somebody? If I go shopping, normally it's like, I used to be very much of, okay, if I'm going into town, I need to do this, and this, because I don't want to be bothered traveling in multiple times. Now it's like, okay, I need to go and do the grocery shopping, and that is all that you will have the energy to do. That, you know, if I want to do other things, it has to be another trip. Another one of our, on the Zooms, you know, somebody said, referred to it being as like you have so many spoons of energy a day, and just getting up and having a shower uses up, you know, one spoonful. Getting your breakfast is another spoonful. So you use up your energy very quickly. And as I reported one day, I said, "Oh, my spoons are only teaspoons at the moment." And you just have to learn to live with that. So it's like a grief process. Adjusting to a new normal. I lost my husband in 2009, so I got the diagnosis in 2019. So it was 10 years, and I'd done a lot of grief recovery work, facilitating groups with grief recovery in those years. That was one of the things that I had to give up because I didn't have the energy to do. So I lost my job. You know, I had to give up my job. I thought, okay, that's good. That'll give me enough time and energy to do grief share. And then I got even sicker, so I had to give up grief share as well, which I enjoyed, helping others. And it's that. So for me, there was this new grief to deal with. Of initially, it was like, oh, I shouldn't have to go through, you know, the grief of losing my husband reappeared. It was like, where did that come from? But I was on my own trying to deal with it. And some days it was hard, really hard. And the mental health side of things, it can get you down. And so I found the support group was great for that, because you'd be talking with people who would one day I know I posted something on Facebook. I think it was after I'd gone through a tough period, and I thought, I need to put this on Facebook because I'm sure there are others feeling the same way. And sure enough, and it prompted a lot of discussion and a lot of comments of, yeah, actually, this is the way I feel. The mental health side of dealing with a chronic illness, it's ongoing. You get through one crisis or one down period and think, oh, I'm okay now. And then something else happens. You need, I think, to be able to talk about it and say, oh, is this for me? Is this normal for me? Because everybody seems to be different, and we all have other underlying conditions which complicate matters. We all react differently to the different meds. Our personalities come into it, I think, whether we can go with the flow, as it were, or whether we get uptight about it. One of the things is the constant monitoring of bloods means that you're seeing all these numbers, and even at one stage my GP was, oh, your kidney, because I only have one kidney, they're kind of a little bit, and so am I, concerned about my kidney function. But as Lara pointed out to me, it probably fluctuates. There was a potassium level or something that was fluctuating. And she said it probably fluctuates normally, but when it's not being traced every week or every month. And, if I have a high or a low of something, so, oh, we better check that again next week. And, probably I'd just eaten too many avocados that, just the day before. But yeah, so I kind of think we need to, yes, we need to follow our numbers a little bit, because of our doctors may not understand, and we need to know for ourselves, that's why I'm feeling so awful. Maybe I need to talk to whoever about changing this. But we also need to learn to let it go, and not fixate and worry, because worrying about it is not going to help your mental health. And I think, you've got to be that balance between being aware, being aware of of your condition, not ignoring it completely, but not letting it rule your life. And that is balanced again by, on the other hand, you have to adjust to a new normal. And sometimes you get a bit down about that. It's like, but I want to be able to do this. Keeping yourself mentally well and motivated is the biggest issue. I think over and above, just staying healthy, it's learning to say, okay, these are my strengths. How can I use my strength under my new circumstances?